When Davy Jones, Micky Dolenz, and Tork took the stage tonight, the crowd roared like the group had never left the spotlight. The Monkees, a group whose claim to fame was a hit 1960s television series, has apparently maintained that stardom. An estimated 10,000 fans turned out tonight to see the group. And even though the new act is short one monkey, teen heartthrob turned theater actor Davy Jones says the second time around is nearly as much fun as the first.
It's great. We work well together. A good thing's worth repeating, and here we go again 20 years later, and it seems just as much fun to me.
But while it may be fun, Micky Dolenz, who is now a movie producer in England, says it's not easy performing again after all these years.
It took a while to get back into it. I was standing there on stage, very self-conscious, thinking, you know, all these people are looking at me.
The Monkees tour is scheduled to end in late September, but with the response the group has been getting, plans are already in the works to extend it. Terry Lewis, Night Watch 8, Sarasota.
Well, no, the thing is that it came as a bit of a surprise, and unless these things are set up in advance, it is difficult because we get here just barely in time to get on, and I got to get dressed in a few minutes now.
Okay, it'll take us just a couple of seconds. What's the purpose of the 20th anniversary tour?
Go ask those few thousand people out there. They have a better idea than I do, I suppose.
What you're saying is you felt like it was, the demand was there?
Well, it happened rather, not by accident, but it happened rather spontaneously. Somebody did decide to put together a tour for the 20th anniversary, and then MTV ran the series simultaneously, unbeknownst to us. And the result is a kind of spontaneous combustion that's been very pleasantly surprising.
How does it feel to be back out in the limelight like this again after these 20 years?
It's difficult. It took me a while to get back into it. I've been behind the scenes producing and directing television shows and movies and commercials and everything in England mostly for the last 10, 12 years. I chose to go on that side of the camera, as it were. It took a while to get back into it. I was standing there on stage very self-conscious, thinking, you know, all these people are looking at me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So one of the other questions I was going to ask, you kind of answered it for me, but if you can briefly tell me what you guys have been doing all these years.
Well, I can only speak for myself, really. I live in England. I'm a producer-director. Very successful career I've developed over there, doing films and television and stuff like that.
Is this a comeback? Can we expect to hear from you for the next couple of years down the road, or is this a one-time thing?
Who knows? It was originally done as like a Clash reunion. Let's get back together and have a good time and have a birthday party. And whether or not it lasts depends essentially and mainly on the audience. I mean, it isn't something, I'm not going to push anything and force it. Yeah, so far it's been very spontaneous, very enthusiastic, and as long as it remains like that, then I'll stick with it.
It seems like the response has been really great. We've got a couple of new songs
Cadillacs.
out. Got a couple of new songs out.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
Well, let's do it. And I said, sure.
What about the other? Do you miss him, the other
Mike?
Monkey?
Oh, sure, yeah. I miss Mike. We were disappointed that he wouldn't join us, but then again, we weren't surprised.
Yeah, just on the And when they're finished, I'd like to get you for a moment, too, if you don't mind.
Okay. Mr. Jones, why the comeback of the Monkees?
Well, the Monkees has been rerun over the last 20 years, and somewhere in the world, we've been going off to Japan in 1981, and in 76 in Australia, and before that touring America with Micky Dolenz, myself, and there's always been an interest in the Monkees. It's just that the size of the interest. We played to 40,000 people in Arlington, Texas 3 nights ago, and then we followed it up with 30,000 in Iowa. I think there's maybe 8,000 or 9,000 out there tonight. I think it's the interest, the public interest, and when there's an interest in an act, the act goes out and works, and that's what's happened. It's the Monkees' 20th anniversary, and therefore we're celebrating it by singing the old tunes and getting together and going on the road.
Could the fans expect a permanent comeback, or is this something that you're doing just for the 20th anniversary?
Well, obviously the show is shown all the time, so therefore they can keep enjoying that. hopefully that those guys will stay young enough to keep going out every year. I mean, I'm willing, and if we can coordinate our schedules, then we certainly will keep going.
How does it feel being back on stage now in the limelight after 20 years?
Well, as a monkey, it feels fine. I just finished 12 months in London in the theatre playing the part of Jesus Christ in Godspell. My theatre didn't stop after the Monkees. I've toured all over the world as a solo act and as an actor in television and on the stage. So a career doesn't stop. It continues. Obviously, the size of the interest is also very much to do with a lot of things. We're having a great time, and hopefully you'll be able to capture a little bit of it on film.
Yeah, as artists, how does it feel to be back together?
It's great. We work well together. A good thing's worth repeating, and here we go again 20 years later, and it seems just as much fun to me.
Mr. What have you been up to as of late, before all of the revival and the reunion?
Well, this last 12 months I spent working in England in the theatre playing Jesus Christ in Godspell, which is a great show. There's not too many parts for a tongue-in-cheek young leading man to the people, and so it's always on a different scale, different level. When I perform on the QE2, I'm entertaining with a tuxedo bow tie to 80-year-old grandmas and a mixed audience, so you've got to apply your act accordingly. I'll be in this show today jumping around like a pork chop, you know, but I don't know, do 40-year-old guys do those things?
Obviously so.
It seems that you've got to be over 30 to be in rock and roll these days, so it may be the right thing.
What after this?
I'm off to Australia with Peter, February and March. In between that particular time, I'll be in England doing some theatre over the Christmas period.
Or somebody new filling in?
I understand that they're going to put a new show together called The Monkees, and I am going to be, after this performance tonight, off to Hollywood to audition for Micky's part. Because I always wanted to be the drummer.
Thank you very much.
2, 1. I'm Terry Lewis. I'll tell you why thousands... 3, 2, 1. I'm Terry Lewis. I'll tell you why thousands gathered in Sarasota just to monkey around.
The 1986 MTV Video Music